Morning creeps over the valley in muted gray, the kind of light that makes everything look tired. At the edge of a small village, Megan Hales trudges toward her chicken sheds, boots squelching in the mud. The radio in the feed room mutters about strange news, a melting motorway, a miracle dog stopping a bank robbery, rumors of a cemetery event. Megan switches it off. She has her own problems. She opens the first coop door and stops. The floor is gone. In its place is a carpet of eggs, white, brown, speckled piled 3 deep. Nests overflow, boxes are jammed, even the water trays brim with perfect, uncracked shells. Her hens stare at her from atop their own production, feathers fluffed, breathing shallow and fast. She was expecting a good lay after changing the feed. Not this. Megan carefully steps inside. The eggs roll under her weight but refuse to break, as if the shells have decided the rules don't apply anymore. She pulls out her phone, snaps a photo. The image refuses to send. Signal is gone. Out on the hill overlooking the farm, Cluck watches. It didn't come from this world. A fracture between realities caught a stray idea, farmer's curse, about hens laying until the land drowns and gave it feathers, bones, and a skull mask face. Now Cluck moved from farm to farm, turning every chicken into a conduit for its plague of eggs. With each slow step it takes along the ridge, hens for miles around convulse and lay again and again. By midday, every outbuilding on Megan's land is full. She calls her supermarket buyer, who thinks it as a prank until their own warehouses begin to flood with unexpected deliveries from other farms. Trucks are dispatched, then get stuck, tires spinning on drifts of tough, unbreakable eggs that pile up on the lanes like snow. Then, the first egg hatches. Megan hears it from the yard, a sharp crack, a wet shuffle, then a hiss. She peers back into the coop and sees something wrong wriggling free. A chick with too many teeth and a second set of lidless eyes. It lunges at another egg and pecks. That egg hatches instantly into another monster. Panic slams into Megan. She backs out, slamming the door and ramming a wheelbarrow against it. The wood thuds and flexes as more things push from the other side. She sprints to the farmhouse, locks every bolt, and sits on the kitchen floor with her shotgun across her knees, heart pounding. Outside, the sound rose, a scratching, scraping tide like rain made of claws. The multiverse listens. The crack that birthed tar under a motorway, that lit up a dog's collar in a back alley, passes over this valley and hesitates. If left alone, the plague will swallow this region. On a black royal battlefield in another world, a knight hears the call. The sky over Megan's field splits with a soft, precise tear. The Knight of Kona steps through onto the farm track, armor dark and gleaming. He inhales, tasting sulfur and yolk, then starts walking toward the noise. Eggs roll out to meet him, bumping against his boots. Some crack, not into monsters, but into raw yolk, as if his presence alone decides they're not allowed to become anything else. He reaches the main coop just as the door gives. A wave of tiny, warped chicks spills out. Kona plants his shield. A ring of soft, golden light rolls out. The front rank of creatures shudder, their teeth melting away. They collapse into normal, terrified chicks that scatter. The ones further back shriek and scramble over them, still twisted, still eager to bite. Up on the hill, Cluck tilts its skull mask head. It has seen nights before. Most just burn the land to stop the plague. Megan peeks through the kitchen curtains and freezes. A man in black armor stands between her house and a crawling sea of wrong birds, holding the line. She thinks of the motorway story on the radio. Maybe the world really has gone mad. Kona doesn't look back. He steps forward, light pulsing from him in steady beats. For each monster that becomes a normal chick, 2 more hatch. This is not just biology, it's intent. He looks up at the hill. Show yourself, he calls. You're not a disease. You're a choice being forced on this land, Cluck answers. It walks down through the hedgerow, its glowing eyes fixed on the night, then on the farmhouse, where Megan's fear hums like a beacon. Every hen on the property trembles, laying another wave of eggs. Megan hails, Kona calls without turning. This is your land. Your birds. Your story. It's feeding off what you wanted from them. The farmhouse door creaks open. Megan steps out, shotgun shaking. What I wanted, she snaps. I wanted to keep the farm. Pay the mortgage. Sell enough eggs that I don't lose everything. Cluck's beak splits wider. More eggs roll from under its coat, hatching midair into snapping chicks. Exactly, Kona says. Overproduction. More. It found that wish and turned the dial until it broke. He drives his shield into the mud. A new circle of light rises not at the plague, but at her. Change the wish. Megan stares at him, at the monsters, at the walls of eggs. Then she picks up one of the perfect uncracked eggs at her feet. She holds it up where Cluck can see it. This isn't profit, she says, voice hoarse but clear. This is enough. No more. She smashes the egg against her own doorstep. For a heartbeat, nothing happens. Then the glow around Cluck's rotten necklace falters. The compulsion squeezing every hen's body eases. Kona seizes the moment. He channels her intention. Enough, and pushes it outward like a wave. The light that rolls from him isn't destructive, it's limiting. Every egg on the farm flickers. The mutated chicks shrink, deformity smoothing away. The tide stops. Cluck staggers, the plague is not gone. It's being confined. Kona walks up to the entity and presses his shield edge into the earth, drawing a glowing boundary line around the farm. You wanted to drown the world, he says quietly. Now you're stuck here. Overabundance becomes harvest. Plague becomes pantry. Rings of light snap into place around Cluck's ankles. It has been turned from world breaker to reluctant guardian of one small farm. Down at the house, Megan leans against the doorframe, looking out over her land. Thousands of eggs, but now just eggs. A lifetime's worth of food. How long does that thing stay? She asks. As long as it takes, Kona answers. Until this world knows what to do with too much. He steps back toward the invisible seam in the sky. This isn't the only fracture. But today, your valley didn't become one of the bad stories. With that, the night of Kona is gone. On the hill, Cluck stands watch. To see how another corner of this universe bends under the weight of impossible technology and digital gods. Continue with Episode 5, Lord of the Swarm.